Welcome to Learning English Time channel.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my podcast. I'm Jenny, and I'm so glad you're here again. Today, I want to tell you about my last weekend, a very busy one. You know those weekends where you plan to rest, but end up doing everything except resting? Yeah, that was me. But even though I was exhausted by the end, my heart was full of love and laughter. Let me take you through it, from the moment I woke up on Saturday morning until Sunday night, when I finally sat down with a cup of tea and a quiet smile. The sun was barely up when I opened my eyes, maybe around 6:15 a.m. The house was quiet, except for the faint hum of the fridge and the soft chirping outside. I stretched, took a deep breath, and thought, okay, Jenny, let's do this. First stop, the kitchen. I made myself a strong cup of coffee. I can't function without it. Then I started preparing breakfast, scrambled eggs, toast, and a bit of fruit. I like mornings when the air still smells cool and new. By 7 a.m., my daughter Amber came downstairs. She's 16, smart, kind, but like any teen, her mornings are slow. She had her phone in one hand, scrolling through something, and mumbled, "Morning, Mom." I smiled. "Morning, sweetheart. Hungry?" She nodded, half asleep. A few minutes later, my son Amar, he's 12, came running in with his messy hair and bright smile. "Mom, I had a dream about flying," he said, waving his arms around. John, my husband, followed soon after, rubbing his eyes. He's not a morning person, but he always joins breakfast when he can. We all sat around the table. There was laughter, a little teasing, and the comforting sound of clinking plates. That's my favorite time. Everyone together before the world wakes up. After breakfast, it was time to clean. Saturday is my big cleaning day. Laundry, floors, organizing, everything. I turned on some cheerful music, something upbeat to keep me moving, and started folding clothes while John did the dishes. Amber helped by vacuuming the living room. Well, kind of helping. And Amar was in charge of dusting the shelves. Of course, it didn't go perfectly. The vacuum got stuck on the rub, Amar dropped a vase, luckily plastic, and Amber disappeared halfway to check something on her phone. But that's family life, messy, loud, and real. By 10:30, the house smelled of lemon cleaner and fresh laundry. I stood by the window, took a deep breath, and smiled. Tired already, I thought, but at least it's clean. Next up, groceries. I grabbed my big eco bag, my shopping list, and headed to the local market. The moment I arrived, I was hit by that familiar smell. Fresh herbs, grilled corn, roasted coffee. The market was alive. Vendors calling out their deals, children running around, music from someone's old radio playing softly. I stopped at the fruit stand. Apples, mangoes, bananas. The colors were beautiful. I love that part of shopping, choosing food with care, thinking about what to cook for the week. I chatted with the lady who sells vegetables. She always remembers me. "Good morning, Jenny. Cooking something special?" I laughed, just trying to feed my hungry family again. By the time I finished, my bags were heavy, my arms sore, but I felt content. I had everything we needed: chicken, rice, vegetables, and of course, a little treat, chocolate cookies for the kids. When I got back home, John was fixing something under the sink, and the kids were arguing about the TV remote. I put the groceries on the counter and started cooking. Stir-fried vegetables, grilled chicken, and soup. The smell of garlic and onion filled the air. John came to help chop onions. He always cries when he does. I told him, "Honey, you're too emotional for cooking." We both laughed. When lunch was ready, everyone gathered around the table. The kids were hungry. They ate so fast. We talked about school, about John's work, about Amber's new project. Amar told the funniest joke. I laughed so hard I almost dropped my spoon. After lunch, I looked around the table, everyone smiling and full, and thought, this is what happiness looks like. John took the kids outside to wash the car while I stayed in. I made myself a cup of tea and sat on the sofa. The sunlight came through the curtains, soft and warm. For 10 minutes, I did nothing. No cleaning, no cooking, just breathing. It felt like heaven. I closed my eyes and thought about how fast time moves. One day, the kids will be grown up, out of the house. So, even when I'm tired, I remind myself these busy days are the best days. As the evening came, I started dinner again. This time, spaghetti with meatballs, Amber's favorite. She helped me stir the sauce while humming her favorite song. Amar set the table and John prepared the drinks. We ate together again, and after dinner, we all watched a movie, an old comedy that made everyone laugh. Amber teased her dad for falling asleep halfway. Amar ate popcorn from the bowl like it was treasure. When the movie ended, it was almost 10 p.m. I tucked Amar into bed, kissed Amber goodnight, and finally went to my room. I sat by the window with my last cup of tea for the day, looking at the quiet street outside. The moonlight touched the walls softly. My legs were tired, my arms heavy, but my heart felt light. I whispered to myself, "Jenny, you did it again. Another busy day, full of love." Sunday started slower. I let myself sleep in till 8 a.m., which for me is a miracle. John made breakfast this time. Pancakes that were a little burnt, but sweet. The kids cleaned their rooms. Kind of. We spent the morning talking, planning the week, and laughing about little things. In the afternoon, we went for a short walk in the park, just the four of us. Amber took photos, Amar ran ahead chasing birds, and John held my hand. When we came back, I didn't feel tired. I felt complete. Because that's what family is. Not perfect, not quiet, but full of small, beautiful moments that make everything worth it. So, that was my weekend. Busy, full, sometimes messy, but always full of love. If you're listening and feeling like you're doing too much, just know that every little thing you do for your family matters. I'm Jenny, and this was my story. A busy but happy weekend. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time on my podcast.